Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Curtis's Podcast Network and this AFC South show 204. My name is Curtis Brown. I'm the host of the channel. With me, as always, my resident co-hosts, Isaiah, our Jaguars guy, a.k.a. the Glitter Kitty Conquistador, and the host of Third and Teal, freshly married. What's up, Isaiah? Hell yeah.
I'm blinking twice. It's good. It's good. Everything's good.
Anybody know the number for 911 down there?
Down here at the bottom right, we got co-host of Unstabled, host of Kingmaker Sports, friend of the channel. Been here for what? How long you been associated with us?
I think we're going on a year now, like almost the 1 year anniversary. I started with Unstabled during preseason last year. Yeah.
Right
Take it on up.
Yeah, man. Like time has really flown by.
It does. When you're hanging out, talking ball with the boys,
Oh,
tends to go by pretty fast. You can check out all of everything that Justin does on Unstabled and Kingmaker Sports. You can also check him out on Tag Team Talk, talking all things wrestling with Jeff, his co-host of Unstabled. But
tag team partner.
What we're seeing is Justin doesn't shut up.
Hey,
He's got 7 shows.
Hey, your boy's got something to say.
And then down the bottom left, co-host of Titans Table for Two, Andrew, father of 3, 4?
3.
Okay.
I
That he
think.
knows of.
No, 3. Yeah.
Hell yeah. What's going on? How are you?
Doing good. Now we just got to get through this little the driest part of the NFL calendar. NFL does such a good job of staying relevant all year long with the draft and the combine and just all that stuff, free agency, and then this 3 weeks is always the hardest because us just thrive on news, So this is the deadest part, but we're ready for it. This means the best part's coming. That's all it means.
Starts, we're gonna have more news and we know what to do with.
Yeah, that just means that it's just the lull before the storm, where it's all about to hit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I guess we're maybe in more of the eye of the hurricane, so to speak.
yeah, just hasn't hit.
Yeah.
So we're coming.
Hey, but this is dynasty season right here. This is where all the rookie drafts are happening. So we're Kingmaker Sports.
Already had both of mine.
Popping right now, man.
I did pop in and listen to that.
Yeah, dude. Hopefully we can give you some good stuff. We just went on our players to avoid in rookie drafts, and after we finish our top 5 series, running backs were so deep this year. We had to go top 8. We had to. I mean, we couldn't have a top 5 each. So yeah, no, it's doing really good. We got a lot of good stuff going on over there with our rookies right now. We're still doing rookies until training camp starts.
Hell yeah. You can also catch me on That Real Texas Team podcast. We just dropped the first video essay covering the Rosencopter game between the Colts and the Texans, which was October 5th, 2008. So a lot of the people who are watching this probably weren't even thought of yet. Or if you were, this game as a Texans fan definitely hurts. If you're a Colts fan, you probably remember it a whole lot different. But
Very well done. I watched it. You did a good job.
Appreciate you. Trying to get some numbers on it, y'all. So go ahead and hop over there, check it out, even if you're not a Texans or a Colts fan. And then Trevor's supposed to be dropping Talking Ball with Trevor. So I don't know exactly when that's supposed to be coming out. Have you heard anything, Isaiah?
I know they're currently working on the processing and all that, but I don't know exactly when the first episode is dropping.
Okay.
Dude, I got a sneak peek of it, and man, it's gonna be something to watch. I'm gonna be tuning in regularly. I think it's a really cool concept, and just sitting around having a couple cocktails, talking ball, bro. It's pretty cool. I'm really excited for Trevor.
Oh yeah. Well, without any more hullabaloo or hubbub, let's get into today's topics. First, let's go around the table and talk about whatever news we've got relevant to our teams. Does anybody want to go first? Don't all jump at once. It's okay.
Not a lot of news. I mean, obviously, go ahead, Justin.
I was just gonna say, so In Colts country, I think they're still trying to. They were still trying to figure out things going on with Jim Irsay after his passing, and it looks like his oldest daughter Carly has settled into the role, um, and she has quite a bit of support. Because she's been part of the decision making for the past handful of years, so it's not like she's a stranger to this. She's not just like some of those rich kids that daddy died and now they got to hop out of the club and figure out how to run the business. It's not one of those situations. So it looks like everything is running really smoothly in the offices up there in Indianapolis. So that's good to know that there's some consistency. You've got somebody who's been involved in any of these talks, especially with having such a hot seat right now with Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen, knowing that their jobs are on the line if they can't figure things out. So it's not like they can go to her and say like, "Oh, me and your dad, we talked about this." Like, no, she was in every room, every conversation with that. So that's good to know for Colts fans is that it's not chaos in the front office. And she actually has been in a lot of the meetings as far as like the team meetings. So she's being very, very hands-on. So I'm really excited about this. Of course, we're going to miss Jim Irsay. He was such a philanthropist, gave so much to charity, but yeah, so don't fear anything in Indianapolis Colts fans. Carly Ursay Gordon is going to do a good job. I believe in her. I think this is going to be awesome, and it's historic. It's our first official female owner in the NFL. So I mean, if you love the women like we do, like, hey, dude, there you go. Like, there's something to root for.
Virginia McCaskey. She just died. She was the owner of the Bears.
Isn't the owner of the Lions a woman too?
Are they majority or are they like sole owner?
Oh, so that might be because we have Amy Adams Strong too, but I think she's like has the majority, not the sole, or maybe that's what it is.
Okay. Because the Ursay family like owns. They
100%.
own it. Yeah. They're like
Pretty sure she was married to George Hallis, who's basically like owned the team and was a coach for a long time.
But didn't they sell? I mean, I could totally be wrong on this. Didn't they sell shares of the team though?
Shit, I have no idea.
It's probably like 100% ownership thing. But for that, I think for someone who Bud Adams just died fairly recently, and Amy Adams Strunk took over, I think that puts Ballard and Steichen on an even hotter seat, honestly, because it seemed like this needs to go a different way, and that's kind of where Amy Adams Strunk came in, and she wasn't afraid to make changes.
Yeah.
So if anything, the seat was already hot, but I think it got hotter, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. Because now it's like, okay, this is my show. Like, I'm gonna do this. Like, and it's not like I'm not trying to say that okay, she wanted to do things and Jim didn't. Like, it's not that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like now it's like okay, she's in control. She's in the driver's seat. Now she can make the decision without having to, hey, Dad, what do you think? Hey, little sister, what do you think? Stuff like that. So
I like the news about her being hands-on, but are you afraid of her getting too hands-on? Like, obviously nobody's as hands-on as Jerry Jones, but like going down that path.
Yeah.
I apologize. Virginia McCaskey was the daughter of George Hallis.
I mean, still the same kind of inheritance kind of thing. So I'm with you on that.
It says principal owner, so I imagine that implies that there are other owners.
Majority owner,
yeah.
Okay. Well, she might be the first person to ever 100% own a team.
Yeah. Well, because the Colts, like all three owners, they're all the daughters. So it's like pick one that's still a female. I mean, I'm not trying to flex in any way. I honestly not.
Yeah, we're not.
I think it's super awesome for women that hey, boom, you have like 100% female owner in the NFL in a male dominated sport. Where we just started having female coaches not too long ago. You know what I mean? But no, I mean, other than that, like, and what you were talking about, Andrew, her being too hands-on. If I start hearing reports of that and reading some things like, oh, she's trying to tell, Chris Ballard things, but in her press conference, her and the sisters were kind of upfront about saying, like, we're going to trust the people we have until we can't, So
Mhm.
I don't think she's going to stick her nose where it doesn't belong. Because Jim never did. Jim was, of course, he was on the practice field with it, but he was just a good
That's
owner. Like he
normal.
loved
Yeah,
to
yeah.
play. Like he was all about it. And there's lots of owners out there like that want to be out there with the team. They're just all about the team, and that's awesome. I think that's a good morale. So, we need this right now. We haven't been doing so well, and we still got to figure out the stuff with Anthony Richardson. Which leads to another bit of news. And apparently, we were thinking that Anthony Richardson they were saying like, oh, he'll be back for training camp, but like how much? Like, yes, he'll be there, but like, will he be ready to go 100%? But it's looking like yes, he will be back and he will be ready to throw come training camp time. So we're really going to see a true quarterback battle. I really believe that, but I still stand on Anthony Richardson is the QB1 until he loses the job because he's got the draft capital, plain and simple. Like he's the guy until he loses it. So,
Yeah. Fair enough. Andrew?
I'm going on Cam Ward for a couple things. Obviously, that's the biggest news that keeps coming out of Tennessee. One like bright spot is everybody talking about how much he's trash talking, especially with like Jeff Simmons and stuff on the field, and people are loving that. How he's just not afraid. The confidence. I think he even got in Jeff Simmons' face and headbutted him, and like Jeff loves that. That's all Jeff is. Just how competitive. I think there was a video that Calvin Ridley put on his Instagram of he beat Cam Ward in ping pong and Cam broke the handle. So the dude's just a competitor. So you love that part of it. Callahan also was like, I asked him after practice, like, do I need to wait for you to stop talking shit before I give you the play? He's like, no, I heard everything you said. He said he did. He called it and he executed it. I was like, I can't really say anything to him if he's doing his job,
what's that like having a
But
quarterback that's a real competitor? I don't know what that's like right
I
now.
don't know, man. But
My guy
the
takes
dude,
himself out of important situations.
the dude just loves ball. You can definitely see. One of the parts that like I'm kind of like, oh, hold up a little bit, is people talking about how Cam Ward's going to have a Jaden Daniels type season. I mean, is it possible? Yes, anything is possible. But like that season is an anomaly. CJ Stroud didn't even have that season, and he had a great season. You know what I mean? He didn't. So
Offense Rookie of the Year season, yeah.
yeah. So, but he still didn't have the season that Jaden Daniels had last year. Like that doesn't happen. you know. Now anything is possible, and I won't. Would it happen? Would I be excited? Absolutely. And I do think he'll have a good season. I think we'll definitely be better at the QB position this year. But let's just chill a little bit. And then not really like rumors and stuff, but hear people talking about like, oh, the Titans should go sign Amari Cooper or something like that. This team is not Amari Cooper's going to go somewhere he can win a title. For one, two, we don't need him for just you have so many young receivers.
Henry
Even
Ruggs available.
take Traylon, not yet, not until next year. So take Traylon Burks out of it because I think he gets cut from this team personally. You still have Ao Manor, DK, Restrepo, Bryce Oliver. You don't need a veteran. Like you already have your two veterans. You have Ridley and Lockett. Let these younger guys learn and get better and grow with Cam and Gunnar Helm. As at tight end. You don't need to go bring. If you need to bring anything veteran into this team, it's going to be a pass rusher. And I think you might see that before training camp. I think someone like Zadarius Smith, who was probably just waiting. He didn't want to go through all the OTAs and stuff. He's an older guy, 32 years old, I think, or something like that. He would be perfect for this team because that's where our weakest spot still is at rush. But yeah, people talking about bringing in another receiver, we're fine. I'm not saying we have the best receiver group in the NFL, but where this team is, that receiver group is where it needs to be.
Heard. Isaiah, news?
Sorry, my computer's being really weird right now, so I muted. News?
Rumors?
News. The NFL admitted that they fucked us out of the 2017 Super Bowl. So that's cool. Should have been a Jags-Eagles Super Bowl. There's a confirmation in a letter saying they fucked up the call that Miles Jack was in fact not down. Still no closure though. Fuck the NFL. Fuck Roger Goodell. But not really any news. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is dealing with some shoulder soreness. He's still throwing though because he's on his non-throwing shoulder from that surgery he had in the offseason. Travis Etienne is not going anywhere, according to Cohen. And Travis Hunter is starting to practice on both sides of the ball in some practices. But other than players losing weight because the new regime isn't forcing them to be overweight, nothing really else is going on right now.
Okay.
The biggest news for me from the Jags was Isaiah saying he wouldn't trade Trevor Lawrence for Joe Burrow.
Fuck no.
That was the biggest news that came out of the Jags for me.
Let's put a poll out there and see how
Who would you
many
rather
Jags
have,
agree with that.
Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence or Joe Burrow?
I would love
half
to see
of the
results
Jaguars
on
fan base would trade him for a bag of fucking peanuts. So I don't really think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But
I will happily take Trevor Lawrence to Indianapolis. You want? I'll give you Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones.
fuck no. I'd rather have a bag of peanuts than either of them. But that's more realistic.
You're not wrong.
Houston signed corner Damon Arnett, something like that.
Arnett, yeah.
He was a former first-round draft pick for the Raiders, who kind of
I was
flamed
right.
out. Yep, flamed out, and last season was playing in the UFL for the Roughnecks, and now he's staying in Houston to play for the actual pro football team, not the awkward farm system. With that being said, though, I can only imagine that he's probably
he got released from the Raiders because he was having guns on Instagram, and he's the same draft class as Ruggs. That's who that is. Yes, I remember. I knew that was a Raiders guy.
But all the criminals got drafted that year.
He's the first. They had 2 first-round picks. They took Ruggs and Arnett, and
That worked out well.
they lost both of them within a year later because they both one got arrested and one got cut because he was doing all John Morant on Instagram.
Basically. They're saying that all the issues are behind him now. He hasn't had any issues for well over a calendar year, and that's I guess good enough.
Pac-Man Jones too.
Oh damn!
Pac-Man's an idiot.
He got arrested the other day.
They said Josh Cribbs wasn't smoking weed for a year, then he fucked that up.
Cribbs or Gordon?
Gordon. Sorry, Gordon.
Yeah, Josh Cribbs out here.
Josh Cribbs. Yeah.
We won't take Josh Cribbs slander.
Pac-Man is definitely on something though.
Yeah. No, he fell way the fuck off.
He's one of those guys. Well, I mean, he still had a great career too, despite all because that's what tells you. That's why I was saying before we got on that if Ruggs gets paroled next summer, which he's up for, he will play in this league again if he has the talent. Because Pac-Man, all the shit that he did, and then he still had the career he did. Like he still had a great career with the Bengals.
Yeah,
I wish he would have just. He was such a great player. I wish he could have been a Titan for life if he would have just not been an idiot.
Because if you don't think that teams are gonna do their due diligence on Henry Ruggs, make sure he still can catch. He's still in good shape.
Oh, he'll be doing workouts. The Raiders still hold so his rights. So we'll see what they do. Maybe they bring him in to work him out. I don't know, but he'll be on the team.
Well.
He'll at least
use him. He would be the best receiver on the team right now, outside of freaking maybe Jack Besh. I mean, well, no, Brock Bowers is the best receiver.
Jacoby Myers is one of the most underrated players in the league. He doesn't drop. He doesn't drop anything.
There we go.
Catch percentage is insane.
The only thing he drops is in the rankings, I guess, because he's so underrated.
I like Jacoby Myers, man.
He's the Malik Hooker of the Raiders, guys.
Amani Hooker, you jackass.
Malik Hooker was a Colt.
A hooker by another name is still a hooker.
And he was also a not good hooker.
Yeah. He had 1,000 yards last season with the QB play with the Raiders.
Pretty sure Malik Hooker was the most underrated safety on the Colts I've ever seen. He's so underrated.
To call somebody underrated is different than me. Like, oh, he's fucking Justin Jefferson. That's not what I'm saying. He's a good receiver, though.
I mean, Myers is okay, yeah.
1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns last year. Who played quarterback? Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew. Anybody else over there? Ryan Mallett was probably over there, or something like that.
Gardner's like the Josh McCown of the NFL. Like he's on the NFL tour right now, and he's just doing something good at every team, just enough to get money on the next team. So just the same way Ryan Fitzpatrick did for freaking 2 decades.
Yeah, he's just a really consistent, and he, like you said, he doesn't drop anything.
No, he's not.
He's like a less talented Larry Fitzgerald. Like he's not going to drop the ball.
Yeah, and now he's the QB2 for the Chiefs. Like, imagine Mahomes goes down, Gardner
They
Minshew
just keep
in Superflex
recycling
League.
these like
Oh,
burnout
Minshew's with the
QBs
Chiefs.
because they have
Yeah,
Chad Henne, and then they went to Carson Wentz,
Carson
and the
Wentz.
Huskers Minshew. So who's the next burnout QB? They go Daniel Jones going to be backing up Patrick Mahomes next year.
maybe.
No, it'll be Anthony Richardson.
No, they always
Probably.
no.
After next year?
They're
Right.
not like no. They
If-
actually want someone who's had at least a little success. Like Daniel Jones had
If
that 1 year at
Richardson gets
least.
cut, man, if Richardson gets cut, where do y'all think he could land next year? Where would the best place for him?
The
to land?
only two answers that make sense: the Eagles and the Bills.
No,
Oh, he'll
I was
never
gonna say-
play.
I was going to say the
No.
49ers
no.
49ers.
Nah, well,
just because
He'll- he's-
Shanahan.
no,
gonna
because
try-
they still got to pass the ball. He
Sean,
can't pass
the
crap.
Broncos, Sean Payson would use him like Taysom Hill.
No, I think he goes
That's
to the
not
Raiders.
bad.
I think he goes to the Raiders, or potentially. Oh crap! There's one other team I was thinking of.
The
The
Jaguars.
Roughnecks in the CFL.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I can see him going to the Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders make sense. That's where a
Especially
lot
if they get Ruggs back, big arm. Just hey, throw it. Fuck it, Ruggs down there somewhere. You know.
Yeah.
Just run, get open.
Nah, but Sean Payton using him like Taysom Hill is not a bad idea at all.
But will Anthony Richardson be okay with that?
Who cares? If it's your only option, what are you going to do?
Hey, they did the same thing with Tim Tebow, remember? And he came back, 10 years too late?
Yeah. Went and played some
Bro
minor
could
league
have had a
baseball.
decent career if he would have been a utility football player, but he's a humble quarterback. Well, bro, actually,
He did win a playoff game. He beat the Steelers in the playoffs.
oh, God.
Demarius Thomas beat the Steelers. All right.
Yeah, let's be
You
real.
got to get it there 10 yards down the field, and Demarius taking the other
F it,
75.
F it.
Yes.
Demaris is down there somewhere.
Oh God. All right. Well, look, let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of tonight's episode. Fan ideas that we have come across thus far in the offseason that need to be stopped.
I guess I already did mine with the Mari Cooper and bringing in a receiver.
Yeah.
I guess I threw it in there too early. My bad.
You're
Really
fine.
ahead of the curve.
I think that's kind of how you ended up with 3 kids. Just throwing it in there too early, huh?
Throw it in there.
Yeah.
So who wants to start?
Quick release.
Bro's out here really like the Titans, no protection. Poor Cam Ward.
Are you Catholic?
How much of a fan are you? Want to know how much of a fan I am? My game is the
He's
same
trying
as
to
theirs.
build the Titans.
Yeah.
I got no left tackle.
Yeah, you're like Will Levis. No protection, a little too much white stuff.
Mayonnaise everywhere.
Got to fill up the mayo jars with something. So I think one of the ideas for the Texans that I've seen some fans bounce around is, the idea that Titus Howard is emphatically the best offensive lineman that we have available on this team. And there's no question about it. I would beg to differ. Trent Brown is on this roster. He's coming back from an injury, but when he has played well, he has played significantly better than Titus Howard has. And it's not even close. The only issue is God knows if Trent Brown's actually going to be in any way healthy this season. I know he's coming off of, I think it was an ACL tear in like week 4 for the Bengals last year. And he's already a 33, 34-year-old man. So God knows what that recovery looks like for a man that's 6'7" and 330. But if he comes back and he's healthy, I think he's far and away the best offensive lineman on the team. And I don't imagine that they're going to have Titus Howard playing tackle anyway. From what we've seen, it's been right guard. And he's not even that good at guard. He's just our highest paid offensive lineman. So,
yeah, money doesn't equal talent.
No. But with that being said, y'all got ideas that need to be stopped from your own fan base?
Yeah. So the idea in Indianapolis that we have all these offensive weapons, but we're going to be a running team. Yeah, look, we do have really good running backs. Don't get me wrong. All right. But the problem is Anthony Richardson is not going to be the quarterback the whole season. Okay. Shane Steichen refuses to make this team a running team. We should not be a running team. I know Jeff is going to cuss me about this because he believes this to his core. And love you, Jeff. But when Daniel Jones takes over sooner rather than later, they're going to air the ball out. Daniel Jones has been a decent passer at times, not consistently. He did learn from Eli Manning, okay? But they have all the air raid weapons. You just got one of the better ones in Tyler Warren that is so versatile that can be that utility Swiss Army knife, whatever you want to call him. Josh Downs gets open at will. Michael Pittman is a man amongst boys sometimes, it seems like. I mean, and hoping that Adonai Mitchell can come into his own, and then Alec Pierce just had such a great year last year. You don't turn into a running team when you have those type of weapons. You incorporate your running game with that. Shane Steichen said 2 years ago that we will pass until we get to the red zone, and then we'll run, right? But Shane Steichen wants to pass the ball. That's what he does. He's not going to run the ball. So Indy fans, I think we all need to take a step back on just run the ball. Like, yes, with Anthony Richardson, run the ball because he doesn't have the arm talent to precision pass with all these weapons that we have. So I think that's what I'm hearing that I don't agree with, that I think we need to kind of ease up on, is that the Indianapolis running game, while talented in the running back room, we need to focus more on the passing once Daniel Jones takes over. Now, of course, this is pending whichever quarterback plays. If Anthony Richardson's arm is still hurt, they're not going to be passing the ball a bunch. Because Jeff has said many times, and I agree with it, if Anthony Richardson is throwing the ball 30 times a game, we're messing up. That's not his game. So I don't think Anthony Richardson is going to be the starter long, because they're going to need to pass the ball, and they're going to understand, hey, Daniel Jones can do a lot better than Anthony Richardson can, especially with Steichen and Ballard being on the hot seat.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
Okay. Andrew, Isaiah, either one of y'all want to go?
I guess Andrew kind of already went, but
Oh yeah, Val. I forget.
This whole getting rid of Trevor Lawrence nonsense needs to quit. It's been 4 years of y'all on this bullshit, and we finally built the team a little bit around him, and now y'all want to get rid of him again still. Maybe after
who do they want to bring in though? I don't understand. Who do they think's better?
See, that's the problem. Is there's no we should do, people were like, oh, we should draft Shedeur Sanders since he's falling. Are you stupid?
How is he even in the same
Dude's
running?
Dude's got speed.
Yeah, he's got speed. He he got caught doing 101 and a 45, or no, he did 101 to 65, 60.
We just had the Henry Ruggs news, and you want to go out there and beat Henry Ruggs?
Yeah. Well, apparently that's his
Henry
second
Ruggs
time
was
being
drunk,
stopped. Actually,
to be fair,
apparently he got caught doing 120 back on June 6th.
Yeah.
And then also too, back in April, right? He got dude. I mean, he went 144 in April. That's crazy.
and he was supposed to go 25. It was at 25. He was supposed to be going 25, and he went 144.
144 to 25.
So anyways, but no. Yeah, it's so stupid. People were like, "Oh, now that he's falling, let's just draft him and get rid of Lawrence." Okay, first of all, you got to be able to offload him to somebody who can take the contract. Second of all,
contract though.
He has to agree, because he has a no trade clause. We can't get rid of him until 2028 is when our out is. And he's 25 years old. Why are we trying to get rid of a dude who's 25, finally we actually put some pieces around him. Besides Brian, I mean, I will say Brian Thomas Jr. Of course, we put that there, and Kirk and whatever, but like no linemen, and Christian Kirk and those guys. I mean, besides BTJ, of course, but like they aren't Travis Hunter and who he's supposed to be. Like we gave Kirk a prove it deal, basically. Not prove it, but like hey, like this is what we think you can be. But like we finally put the pieces around him, and so let's let him go out there and see what he can do. And if he goes out there and has a terrible season this year, the new regime may say, hey, let's talk about this. Maybe we can get you somewhere else.
Yeah.
But like I mean, you got to wait a year. They want him to be there. And you got dudes like Pac-Man and other people for like, oh, my sources in Jacksonville. You ain't got no sources in Jacksonville. Shut the fuck up. Like you're just trying to fucking get clicks because you're irrelevant as fuck.
Yeah, anybody can say that. That's pretty much what the news media does. Like, oh, sources close to the team or sources close to theirs. Like, you ain't got no sources. You're just making stuff up.
Yep. But yeah, that's really it. Like, just
My
stop it. We're not getting rid of Trevor.
Bullshit.
Source this.
Okay.
Just since I already went with that, I meant to drop this in the news portion or drop it. Like got sources. But the Titans are going to be having 2 joint practices one for each of their away games in the preseason with the Buccaneers and the Falcons. So we'll be able to get. And I think that's really done purposely to have Cam Ward have more time against other defenses and stuff like that before the season starts. Because who knows how much he's actually going to play in the preseason? Maybe a quarter in each one of those.
Yeah.
So if those starters have played. Because I remember back in my day, they like it would like progressively get more, and then like by like the third preseason game, they were playing a whole half, and he might even come in for a drive after half to like get the feeling of coming back out after half. Now they play like one drive, maybe a quarter, and that's it. Which I get. I mean, because you've seen some injuries in preseason.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you got players that you got to develop, man, you're not, especially if you have a new coach, new offensive coordinator, or something like that. Like, I think you need a couple extra drives with your number ones. I mean,
I think it's more important for defenses because it stays pretty similar for you. Offenses, like those defenses aren't game planning for you. They're running very basic stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I mean,
you're getting the game feel, but you're not getting that like secondhand reads, like after post snap reads, because they're not really swapping anything out
like
on you.
For rookies, it's good to get those jitters out of the way. Because Cam Ward's never played in an NFL game before, so he needs those season jitters. Tyler Warren, same way. Like you got Travis Hunter, like, yeah, he was great in college, but bro, what's an NFL offense look like? What's an NFL defense look like? So that's going to be good for him to see that. It's going to be good for the Texans rookies, Higgins and Noel, to see that. Like, hey, you guys were good in college. Well, hey, this is the NFL. All these guys are the best. We're the best in college.
Yeah.
My best preseason memories, I went to the first preseason game after Chris Johnson was drafted. Just the Rams, and he took off for a 65-yard touchdown. That's when I was like, "Oh, this guy's gonna be good."
He just outran everybody real fast.
Yeah.
If Daniel Jones, oh my God, I can't wait for preseason. If Daniel Jones comes out just lights the world on fire in preseason, we may have some issues to talk about on Unstable.
I remember that Daniel Jones, like that good season he had when he won comeback player of the year for the Giants, way more fondly than it was. Like I was just looking at this, like just like number watching. It was only 3,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And
but didn't he come in and replace Eli?
So no. His comeback player of the year was after he had already been. He got hurt like week 11 for the Giants or something like that, and came back and he won comeback. But I mean, it was a decent season. But it's like it's only 3 for 15 touchdowns. Like I remember, I thought it was like a 4,200, 28 touchdown season. And it was not.
All right. So look, we've had the negative ones. Let's talk about fan ideas that need to chill, but are at least in the right direction.
I did that already too. I'm way ahead of everything.
It's fine. It's fine. So for me, it's everybody, and I swear everybody's got this guy in their Facebook group or wherever the hell, space on Twitter, where Reddit every year, we're going to the Super Bowl, baby. Mine's not so much we're going to the Super Bowl. It's I've seen a lot of people say that our Super Bowl window is open, and to which I don't think that the window opens until you make it to the NFC, or like the AFC Championship game. like that, like once you're getting to that stage,
I don't
that's
know.
when I feel like your team is the most ready.
Yeah,
Like
you're
you
close.
really
yeah.
don't get like you don't get a lot of fluky AFC or like conference championship appearances. Usually the team that makes it there has either got a lot of vets, like kind of like the Giants did in like 2007. We had like guys that were like on their way out but still playing good football, like Tiki Barber and Strahan, Amani.
Burris.
That was their last hurrah, you know.
Yeah. Same thing with the Ravens a couple years later. It's not
Yeah.
random that these teams make it this far. It's not random that the Jags made it in 2017. They were one of the best teams in 2017.
That defense was insane.
It was nuts.
Well,
So-
when you got a stud like Calais Campbell anchoring down that defense, you're gonna do
Man,
pretty
more
well.
than that. Yeah, and then Jalen Ramsey and was it Bouye was out there too?
Yeah.
Boy,
But yeah,
didn't allow a touchdown, didn't have a single penalty all year.
Yeah.
Was Cyprian there at that time too?
Yep.
Oh, he was with the Titans
Well,
maybe by then.
Cyprian was gone. It was Barry Church and Tayshawn
Barry
Gibson.
Church. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cyprian
Cyprian
had
was
been
a
gone
Titan.
for 2 or 3 years.
He was a
at that point.
Titan. And he had taken Travis Kelce out in that playoff game for us where he caused a concussion. Then we came back with Mariota. That was amazing. All right, go ahead. Memories.
I like the idea that our Super Bowl window is open, but I don't think we've reached the milestone to officially say that that's here. I think we have a team that's on the threshold of a Super Bowl window. I think we have, personally, I don't think we're a Super Bowl caliber team this season. I think the offensive line will still need
Yeah,
some work after
That's
this.
exactly what I was going to say. I think y'all need one more year, one more offseason to get that
Right.
offensive line where it needs to be.
And then at that point, you know, Nick Chubb's gone. Joe Mixon's going to be 30. You're going to be looking for more running backs too.
and hopefully Tank Dell will be back.
Hopefully Tank Dell will be back.
Yes, that's going to be a big piece for you guys. Like I know him being out this year, people are going to forget about Tank Dell. I'm a massive Tank Dell fan. I think he changes your offense when he comes back.
Well, you don't know if he's going to be the same person when he comes back too.
True.
But you have the receivers to be okay with because you have Higgins and Noel, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you hope both of those hit. You don't know, but
Yeah.
That's the hope that you're taking when you
give Kirk a guy who has like at least done something in this league. Maybe not who he was with the Cardinals, but done something.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's your fans. We're in the right direction on that one. I feel you, but it's just not there yet. So who wants to go on that topic, or on the fans need to chill out on this?
Jaguars fans are saying that Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. are going to be the best wide receiver duo in the league this year. Now, do I think there's a chance they could be at some point? I could see it. I don't think the Bengals are going to be able to afford to keep Chase and Higgins together forever. And I think BTJ is close enough to Jamar Chase, and Travis Hunter could pass T. Higgins, but it won't be this season.
Didn't they just pay Chase and Higgins, lock them both down for like 4 years?
They did, but the Bengals are going to have to. They're going if they really want to win games, they're going to have to get rid of Higgins with that contract. They're going to have to try to find a way to get rid of him, take some of the money because they can't pay any defenders.
I don't know.
They're not even signing their rookie fucking defensive
That's what I'm
lineman.
about to bring up.
Yeah.
They're literally trying to offer him a contract with like void years after year 2.
Yeah, well, no, they're trying. So they're also trying to do it to where if he doesn't make weight or he doesn't do like certain things,
Like void his whole
he
contract.
loses all of his money, like
And
including the guaranteed money, everything, like all of it.
There's a real story here where he ends up just going back into the draft next year.
Yeah.
Can he go back into the draft just because he's not re-signed?
He never signs. He can just, any team can draft him, but the Bengals. Bengals are not. It's like Bo Jackson. Whenever he got drafted, was it the Bucks that drafted him after he told them not to? And then they did it, and they ruined his like college baseball career.
I don't think this is going to be good for him though. Like it doesn't usually pan out well when you take a year
It's definitely
off.
not a guy that needs to be missing practice because he's just all trades and no production. But I don't blame him. My
thing though. Oh, go ahead.
I just don't because it's not something the team has done with any other draft pick.
Yeah.
And if you're going to invest the pick in him, you should treat him like the other guys you invested that pick in.
Technically, could he go play in like the UFL or something like that?
Yeah, he can go play a different league and stay
That's not
like
the
condition, but he can't. Yeah, he can't play in the NFL until he signs. And if he doesn't sign, there's no.
Well-
they can't find him because he's not under contract.
Well, because my
Right.
thing too, though, is like, if you really think about it as well, though, all of the like defensive line coaches and stuff that normally work with people in the offseason, they're not going to like be working with those guys during the season. So he's going to have basically his pick of whoever he wants to go work out with. And he could have just a really great season of lifting weights, working out with guys, learning, getting those pass rush steps down, doing all that.
And will he get drafted in the first round again? No, but you might end up in a better situation. And you've heard tons of players say sometimes it's better to not be a first round pick because you don't have that 5th-year option. If you're really
Yeah.
successful, you get to that second contract faster.
This one thing too is, if he does end up signing, they get that 5th-year option, no matter if he wants to play for them or not.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. The Bengals have just been the laughing stock this offseason with how they've handled the Trey Hendrickson situation.
Yeah.
How they're handling this. It's been ridiculous.
Well, because imagine too if Hendrickson sits out.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Joe Burrow might break the all-time passing yards record this year just because that defense is so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be throwing a lot of footballs.
All right. Fan ideas that need to chill.
I already said the Cam Ward,
Right.
Jaden Daniels thing. So I think he kind of went already with the run first thing too,
Yeah.
being the run.
All right. Well, then, gentlemen, let's get into the top 25 current AFC South players.
Money Hooker.
No. I will recap.
Yeah, Justin needs to hear it.
Number 1, Daniel
Let
Hunter.
me pull up my spreadsheet.
Number 2, Eric Stingley. Number 3, Brian Thomas Jr. Number 4, Will Anderson Jr. Number 5, Jonathan Taylor. Number 6, DeForest Buckner. Number 7, Jeff Simmons. Number 8, Nico Collins. Number 9, Quentin Nelson. Number 10, Zaire Franklin. Number 11 is where we start tonight, boys. So who's the 11th best player in the AFC South? And is it Foyesade Aluakin?
That's what I was going to say, yeah. Because we had the argument between him and Zaire. Do you know? I think so. It's hard with last season, but he's been so consistent.
It's so tough for me because, like, tackles wise, Foye is always up there. But like, it's so weird because it doesn't seem this way. But like, Devin Lloyd's a lot better than we give him credit for. Not great in the passing game, but he's a better run stopper than Foye. Like the past 2 seasons, he's been top 10 in run stopping for linebackers, like a top 10 run stopper linebacker. But like overall, I wouldn't say he's technically better. But that's why it's hard for me to put Foye there. But
are we counting players that got signed this offseason?
I mean,
because Kevin Zeitler is definitely right there. He's just, if not as good, almost as good as Quentin Nelson.
I like Zeitler. I was hoping.
I haven't mentioned him because I didn't know if we were calling out.
I'd say that's. Are we gonna do currently played for?
He's in the
AFC
AFC South right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a little bit.
What do you think, Big C?
It's a interesting hash because, I feel like then we could add like a CJ Gardner Johnson at 16 or 17.
Yeah, that's fine. I just didn't know if we're adding free agent pickups from.
Next, it's are we doing just guys we've seen play in the AFC South, or are we doing everybody?
That's here? I think initially the goal was guys that we've seen play.
Okay.
In the AFC South, not to say that Zeitler hasn't played well for.
Oh no, yeah, for years, 15 years.
Yeah.
That's why I was because he could very well be a top 10 player in the AFC South but I didn't mention him because I was like, I don't know how we're doing it. Honestly.
Because technically, if we brought somebody in, like the Texans brought CJ Gardner Johnson in, we don't know how he's going to do. He might play well. He might play well for 3 games and then blow his fucking knee out. We have no idea.
Okay, so let's just go by from the teams last year and pretty much that are still here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
So 11 Aluakin?
I'd say Aluakin. Yeah, that works.
Okay. Number 12. Number 12. Number 12.
Travis Hunter.
Not yet. Nyan.
That's his number. I was just making that joke.
Oh, that is.
Yeah,
He was
that's
hurt a
exactly
lot last year, like a Luacon, but what about Snead? I mean, how's that work?
Ooh.
Because he's been one of the best corners in the league until he played well until he got hurt, but he was out for like.
But would we
66
put only because he was out for a good bit of it? Would we put
That's why I'm at another
the
question.
Colts guy?
Womack.
No. The slot. McLeod.
Kenny Moore.
Kenny Moore.
I mean,
Yeah, I think Kenny Moore would probably be over him. How
just
did
because of injury?
Justin? Do you remember?
Kenny Moore's a great slot corner last year.
Yeah. Do you remember if Kenny Moore missed any time?
Man, I'm not.
If
I'm
you're
not
doing
recalling.
more, what about? Well, Petrie missed some time though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, Kenny Moore, you gotta understand. Kenny Moore is probably like one of the best like slot corners in.
Yeah,
the
him,
NFL.
yeah, for sure, absolutely.
So like, if he's
He played 15 games last year. 7
I mean,
passes,
that's got to mean something. I think.
3 interceptions.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to Kenny Moore here. In favor?
I'd say Kenny Moore.
Kenny Moore.
Not his best year.
All right. Well, no, it's got to play C.J. Stroud twice. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Kenny Moore's probably happy. He don't have to worry about Tank Dell for a while.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably accurate. All right, number 13, Dan Marino. How we feeling?
Lisa's out, Dan.
I when I think about Dan Marino, in order, it's like him retiring. In like as far as moments I remember about him, because I remember his retirement press conference. That Ace Ventura, and then him being like really good at football.
You know what? I want to watch Ace Ventura: Pet Detective now.
It's really good. If you've never seen it, y'all, what the fuck are you doing? What
It's
the fuck are you
amazing.
doing?
The Rhino scene is hilarious.
When Nature Calls, the second
people.
one, yes,
Yeah.
Nature Calls is amazing too. Like, but all the Ace Venturas are good.
Yeah, I was in that prime Jim Carrey era.
Prime. Oh man.
All right, number 13. Who's the 13th best player in the AFC South?
Well, I can't find my list, so I don't know who we've taken already. Don't say it. Don't. Okay, I'll find my list somewhere.
I can tell you again. I don't care.
At this point, it's like it's my fault.
It's
I
a
can't find
meme. It's a meme at this
Yeah,
point.
I'm
It has
a meme
become
at
a
this
meme.
point.
There's only 3 guarantees in life: death, taxes, and Justin forgetting the list.
I have a goldfish brain, bro.
Short memory.
All right. Let me put it this way for you. If you're thinking about fantasy football, both offense and defense are available. Who would be number 13 in the AFC South? Instantly, just
Let me see here.
no. I'm trying to think of players now.
Well, is this the territory we put Josh Allen, or is that a little later?
I'd say Josh Allen would fit here.
Anyone else?
I'm trying to go through all the stuff. Sorry. Make sure I got a good one for you. Well, does Petrie go here at this point?
I mean,
He's so good at the slot.
I'm trying to think about how many games he missed last year. I think he was a season-ending IR.
I mean, Titans don't. I mean, we're looking at Lloyd Cushenberry, who's one of the best centers in the league. Just naming Titans here. Devondre Sweat, Monty Hooker, Roger McCreary. Roger McCreary, I think, is one of the better slot corners in the league as well.
I'm cool with calling him the most underrated. One of the most underrated.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of underrated players.
Well, when you play for teams, honestly, like the Jaguars and the Titans, and you don't get a lot of love, and then mainstream media,
Notice
you
how
have
I
a lot
haven't
of.
called anyone underrated yet.
Well,
No,
which
we
is
can go
funny
back.
because this whole ranking system is about rating them.
Yeah, so we're not
Yes,
going to be
if
those
he's-
They
if
people
he's
that
they
rate
shouldn't
them.
be
he's not gonna make
underrated. They should be highly rated.
I graded. No, that's what I'm trying to do here. Trying to help you guys out, properly rate them.
Justin, who you got as a suggestion for the Colts? Because I think Josh Allen's a pretty good spot here at
Yeah.
13.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be hard to beat.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think I have anybody. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Josh Hines Allen.
Where the hell is my list at?
That's 13 or 14.
That is number 13. So number 14, you got the
Snead now.
how you guys feel about Snead?
What did his season look like last year?
Last year wasn't his. I would say he was hurt a lot, but he had a decent season before he got hurt. He only played 6 games.
Mm,
So
Playing
that,
in 6 games doesn't really help.
yeah, not at all.
Like if he played in like 9, you know.
Cameron Little, kicker for the Jaguars. I think he deserves the. He played in 17 games, unlike Mr. Snead. Okay, no.
5 games, sorry.
apparently, now of course it's in practice, but with someone holding the ball, he barely missed a 71-yarder. Like, wind was whipping, Trevor was there. Like barely missed a 71-yarder that they said would have been good from 75. Really hoping we actually let him kick this year instead of like last year where everything inside of like 50 yards we just went for it, and anything outside of 50 yards we just went for it. Like, let's let him kick some field goals, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry
5
to get that on a
games.
tangent there, but
He only gave up 54%, 1 touchdown. Not great. I mean, his second best season, but like only in a 5-game sample, so it's hard to judge that.
I wouldn't be opposed to throwing him in the same kind of area in the 20 to 25 range with Amani Hooker.
Hooker, yeah.
Hooker might be the honorable mention there. And
No, you better get 25 at least.
14.
I found it, but I only have
Oh,
top
Mixon.
4. So, okay, I know we said haven't played in AFC South, but bro, Nick Chubb?
No.
Last season was not a good
Especially
year.
like 2 years, he hasn't done anything because of his injuries.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing that we can hope for with Nick Chubb is that he's
For Zeitler, at least he did it last year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah.
Chubb
But I
just
think
has that name value right now.
I mean, I'm looking here.
Joe had a good season last year.
Joe had a really good season
But-
last year.
Especially against the Colts. Joe Mixon just did whatever Joe Mixon wanted to do against the Indianapolis Colts.
Tony Pollard had a good season last year. Not as good as Joe Mixon though, but he did have a career year.
I mean, where are we at on Travis Etienne if we're looking at running backs?
He had a horrible year last year.
Because I like
I don't-
Travis Etienne.
I like
He's-
ETN, but I think last year was not a great season for him. But now, no fault of his own, I do think we had a terrible scheme and bad O-line in front of him.
Okay, so we're going
Um,
off last
but-
year then.
Well,
I mean,
Gotcha.
it's
my thing is
Recency bias,
your
I guess.
your
Yeah,
most recent
well,
view of
what
them.
I was going to say though is that like with Tank Bigsby and now Bashaw Tootin, it's really going to be like a committee system. Like, there's
Yeah.
no chance he's going to be just the feature guy that gets 20 carries a game. I just don't see him this year being a top 25 player in the AFC
Really? Because
South.
I think ETN is going to be fed the ball a lot because they're almost done with him. Like Tootin is. I don't think Tootin's going to get as much work as you might think.
No, I agree, but I think Bigsby is your inside the 20 back. Like you're
Yeah,
not putting ETN out there inside the 20-yard line when Tank Bigsby's on the roster.
Yeah.
Who also just came out from PFF, was the second or third most elusive back last year, like evading
Tank Bigsby?
tackles. Yep, yeah.
Wow.
I really
I
like
like
Tank
Tank
coming
Bigsby.
out.
It surprised me a lot, but he's a lot more
Yeah.
elusive than people give him credit for. But
I mean, I was a fan of him in Auburn. I was.
yeah, I just don't know that Etienne's going to get the workload, and he didn't really do enough last year for me to say the top 25 player in the AFC
Well,
South.
they have to see, is Etienne going to be the guy? Like, so I think they're going to run him into the ground just to see what he's got.
They might. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
14. I don't really have anybody else that can kind of outweigh Joe Mixon, I guess. Does anybody have anybody on their team that they think?
I got a guy that I want to go soon, but he's not quite this territory, I don't think.
So
Unless we go ahead and stick CJ here.
If you're building a team right now, I guess, I mean, I want to say, so if I throw a Colts representative out there, I'm probably gonna go Josh Downs, just because he can do so much on the field.
Over Pittman?
But don't we already have Pittman?
No, Pittman's not on the list yet.
Oh, well, then Pittman. Like I said, I just found my list. I only have the top 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, Pittman is not on the list yet.
Okay, then I'll nominate Pittman then.
Okay. So how are
I
we
mean,
feeling?
he's a franchise wide receiver at this point for them.
How are we feeling, Pittman or Joe Mixon?
Mixon.
I think
Mixon
I take
Mixon
Mixon.
did have a great season. Pittman
just
struggled just because of offense. I mean, the quarterback struggled.
Yeah, and Pittman just doesn't. And again, it could just be scheme. He just doesn't do enough in the red zone for me. Like the touchdowns just aren't there.
Yeah.
But like yards are every season, and like he's got a great catch radius, and he's way more elusive than somebody should be for his speed. Like he gets open, for a slower guy, but it just doesn't have the red zone production for me to like him enough here.
Okay.
I'm not big on Pittman, honestly.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
I don't know. And we talked. We had 800 yards last year. We can talk about quarterback play. No, I'm biased in this, and I try to be as much unbiased as possible. I joke around with the Amani Hooker and stuff like that, but seriously, try to be unbiased. Calvin Ridley's better than Michael Pittman. He had a horrible quarterback play last year and put up 1,000 yards.
If we're building a team, though, like
we're not talking about building a team. We're talking about the best players right now.
Okay.
How many touchdowns did Ridley have last season? 8 or 10?
Something like that. Maybe not that many, because NWI got a lot of the touchdowns. He had 4. NWI had like 12. For some reason, he was always the guy in the.
And they let him go.
Yeah. 69 catches, 808 for 3 touchdowns for Pittman. 69, 808, 3 touchdowns, and then 63, I think, 64 for Calvin for 1,017, 4 touchdowns.
Sounds like Calvin Ridley's the pick.
I'm not saying put Calvin. No. I don't think Calvin goes right here.
Well,
I was just comparing him and
those are just two guys that
I think they're in the top 25, but
I'm just saying those are two guys that don't have the touchdown numbers you would expect a number 1 wide receiver to have.
Our quarterbacks don't throw a lot of touchdowns, to be fair.
I mean, yeah, but you would think they would be the ones getting them. You know what I mean?
No. We in NWI had 20 catches last year for 12 touchdowns or something wild like that. It was insane.
Yeah,
I think every other catch was a touchdown.
Yeah, I think at one point he was on pace to set a record for fewest catches for 10 plus touchdowns. It was really low. He
did have the longest reception of the season. 98-yard bomb from Will Levis to Nick Westbrook-Akine, undrafted out of Indiana.
All right, here we go at number 15. Who is the 15th best player in the AFC South?
Oh, do we put Ridley at 14?
No, we put Mixon at 14.
Mixon.
Right?
Oh, okay.
So for this round, we've added Aluakin, Kenny Moore, Josh Hines-Allen, and Joe Mixon.
Do we put CJ here?
I think this is probably a decent spot to put CJ.
Yeah.
It's so hard because he had such a down year last year.
Yeah, but
and a
lot of that is offensive line. And
are we going to go ahead and do 5 more, or are we just going to wait until next episode?
We'll wait to do it. We've got We've got time.
I think after you can go ahead and put CJ, and then I think that's where you're going to see like the Calvins, the Pittmans, and come up to the next one.
Trayvon Walker, yeah.
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 Sneed,
So
maybe.
CJ is our first quarterback, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. He should be.
Yeah, we're not ranking rookies, or Cam Ward would have been one, but
One away from last. You're right.
One away from honorable mention.
right before Anthony Richardson.
He'd be a very honorable mention.
The most honorable.
I ain't mad at you. Right now, I'd rather have Cam Ward than Anthony Richardson.
I mean, at least Cam Ward's healthy.
True.
So you got Daniil Hunter at number 1, Stingley at 2, BTJ at 3, Will Anderson Jr. at 4, Jonathan Taylor at 5, DeForest Buckner at number 6, Jeff Simmons at 7, Nico Collins at 8, Quentin Nelson at 9, Zaire Franklin at 10, 11, Aluakin. His number 12 is Kenny Moore, 13, Josh Hines Allen, 14, Joe Mixon, 15, CJ Stroud. So next time,
Got one,
Be
baby.
doing-
Jeff Simmons, baby.
oh yeah, I didn't even realize you only
Just
have
one Titan, baby.
That's hilarious.
I think next week we should scroll it at the bottom because
Yeah.
we're getting kind of deep into it.
Yeah,
Let's see.
please do that.
I'm not just for Justin, for all the fans out there too.
Oh my god!
But primarily,
After this, Justin, I'm gonna take it right now so I don't forget.
Yeah, don't lose it on your desk like last time. And the bottom 10 are where we live, baby. You're gonna see some Sneeds,
to live at the bottom.
some Andre Sweats, some Peter Skoronskis, baby.
All right, I send it
the
in.
bottom 25 or
No, the last 10 of the 25.
The...
We're living right here, baby. The next 2 episodes are ours, Titans fans.
Yeah, 2 Titans in the top 25. Woo!
No, we'll have at least 3.
at least an honorable mention at some point.
Monty Hooker doesn't make this list.
No, he's not.
Probably not.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
three against 1. Amani Hooker will not be on the list.
Yeah.
Crazy. He's gonna pick. I'm putting it right now. He's gonna pick off every single one of y'all's quarterback this year.
I doubt it.
I don't think CJ Stroud's thrown an interception. I think he's done 1 interception in a division game.
We're gonna look this up real quick. While we're on right now. We go back. We on CJ Stroud's right now. It's easy.
Well, you got like a live feed on him.
You worry about what you're doing, okay?
He's like logging his Ring camera inside of his house.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's cutting some apple slices right now.
Got a little bit of peanut butter there, looks like.
All right, let's see here. Oh, is that organic?
Natural.
Let's see. He had 2 against the Titans last year.
I think those are the only 2 he's thrown against division opponents.
And that was last year. Both years combined.
Yeah.
I would love for one of them to be Amani Hooker.
No, I'm pretty sure it was I feel like it was McCreary.
See, McCreary's a beast, dude. I'll
And
sign him again. Let me see who these 2 interceptions are. Well, it is the only 2 he's thrown in. I'll give you that. I want one of these to be Amani Hooker so bad. Just to fucking.
funny if it's not.
What if it's both of them?
Man, it sucks we can't use players that haven't played in the AFC South yet, because I would sure put Charvarius Ward.
It was Jarvis Brownlee Jr. and Kenneth Murray Jr.
You said what, Justin?
I was saying it's too bad we can't use newly added AFC South players, or else I'd nominate Charvarius Ward.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, and I think we've got.
They're just trying to keep us down, Justin.
I think
That
there's
was
also
Zeitler and-
for maybe somewhere in the bottom 5 for Kamari Laster and Jalen Petrie. But we gonna see.
You work tomorrow, man?
And Travis Etienne.
I open.
I'll be there.
Oh, you're gonna come visit me at work? That's sweet.
No, your
Oh,
boss.
All right. Well, folks, I think this is a good spot to go ahead and wrap it up. Do we have any closing comments?
You want to come
Nah.
join the Amani Hooker fan club? Hit me up.
I do not. Nobody.
I
5
used to be.
interceptions last year. Just saying.
I
We just
used
lost all the subs because you said that.
Well,
Speaking of subs,
yeah. We're at 601. We have finally broken the 600 barrier here on CPN. The Jags are at 720 at the last time I checked. So they're still taking off. Unstable is in the 80s, 81, I believe, which is, thank Allah. And then I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
what?
And then the Titans, what are y'all up to now? Titans stable for 2.
137.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah. We're getting close to having
Yeah.
the 5 that we started last year all being at 100 or better. So
Yeah.
we can figure out how to make unstable pop off a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
New
we're trying to put out some more content. Once training camp starts, we'll have a lot more. But
We'll definitely.
on Kingmaker Sports, we've actually added 12 since we've started going regular with our rookies, our top 5. So we went from I think 50 to 51 or something like that when we started, and now we're at 72. So hopefully that continues to grow, and and we can join the rest of you guys.
We can
break that
definitely help
100
out
mark.
during the season too, and have you on when you're playing one of our teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
But
Yeah, because we'll be doing like a weekly start sits, waiver wire ads for redraft, so we'll be doing a lot of best ball, before the season starts as well. So
yeah.
Is that something y'all did last year? Where like bring each other on when you are playing each other?
We did that a little bit last year.
I like the idea, like bringing Isaiah on, and I'll go over there to their show too and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah. I try to do it for all of the teams, but it's really hard to get people to actually commit to doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
that's
we
what
had
eight shows. If the math was right, am I not doing math right?
8 shows. We had
Eight crossover shows.
uh,
Yeah, because we all play each other twice. So
It'd be 6 per team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at math.
At least you're good at keeping up with lists.
Yeah. I'm really good list keeper, Trey.
the keeper, the key.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, look, go to Unstable, go to Kingmaker Sports, like, subscribe, notification bell. Do the same thing at Tag Team Talk if you like wrestling. Go to Titans Table for 2 to support Andrew and his brother Christian as they hold it down, talking all things two-tone blue. Please make sure to go check out the flagship of CPN, that being Third and Teal. 720 subscribers. And look, we get it. Travis Hunter is popping off. All right. So go listen to them talk about all the things that the Jaguars have going on. That Real Texas Team podcast. I think we're crap. I don't even remember.
264 or something like that. A rough estimate.
282.
That was close.
Yeah.
So I probably can go ahead and make this announcement. So something I was telling you on the group chat. I got a contact down here in Houston. The guy's got season tickets, and they do like big tailgates, got the whole bus, the whole tent set up and everything like that. So something that we're going to try and get with some of the guys from CPN down and do a lot of the fan interactions and stuff, set up a table, have people sit down, ask them a couple questions, nothing like long, just a couple questions and, this and that. So, and walk around, and also, recordings from the game and all that. So that's something to look forward to around, and maybe even do a couple training camps. I was
A
talking
lot
to
of
him,
big things coming this season, man.
Yeah, so he said he gets a lot of tickets because he's a season ticket holder. He gets access to training camps. So he said, me and him will go and do some of that. So that'd be pretty cool for the channel.
I think we're
Damn, Skippy.
a lot of good stuff. I think we're planning on doing a Madden League with us too. Make
Yep.
some content out of that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So look, like, subscribe, otherwise you're going to miss out on some shit. All right.
The bell.
Hit the button, hit the bell,
And fuck
Peace.
the
We
Cowboys.
out of here. Be good people. Fuck the Colts.